Yep, that's me, lying right under a super hot guy, and his lips are pressed against mine, all warm and tingly. I can hear his every breath, but you know what really sucks? His girlfriend is standing right there, staring at us like she's ready to tear us both apart. Whoa, hold up, this isn't what it looks like. But okay, let me start from the beginning. Hi there, I'm Judy, a girl with a burning dream to become a police officer, and a huge part of that dream comes from Nick, the guy who lives right across the street from me. Nick is a famous cop, not just because he's drop-dead gorgeous, but also because he's super brave. His parents died when he was young, and through sheer hard work, he became a cop and then a hero in my eyes. I've had a crush on him for forever, but he's got a girlfriend, and that girlfriend is none other than Lisa, my best friend. Lisa and I have been close since our first days in middle school. I'm the calm one, while Lisa is all bubbly and energetic, and a bit impulsive. But she's an amazing friend, always there for me. She even donated one of her kidneys to me 2 years ago when I was battling lupus. So yeah, I cherish Lisa a lot, and I've always kept my feelings for Nick buried deep inside. Then one day, Lisa called me sobbing uncontrollably. Calm down, tell me what happened. Nick hasn't been paying attention to me like he used to. I got mad and said we should break up like I usually do, but instead of making up with me, he agreed this time. I felt bad for her, but a terrible thought flashed in my mind. Could this be my chance to get closer to him? No, Judy, you're awful. I instinctively walked over to the window and saw Nick standing outside, signaling something to me. I was still trying to figure out what was going on when, 2 minutes later, he was standing at my door.
Judy, listen carefully. I'm being targeted by a black-clad organization. I put their boss behind bars, and now his men want revenge on me and anyone close to me.
So you broke up with Lisa to protect her?
Exactly, and that's why I'm here. You're smart, Judy. I need you to take care of Lisa during this time, until I can sort everything out.
For some reason, something inside me was pushing me. I wanted to be part of this with Nick, partly to experience what it's like to be a cop, and partly to be close to him. Nick, I'll team up with you and take them down.
What are you talking about? This isn't a joke.
I'm not joking. You know how badly I want to be a cop. I know self-defense. I've studied a lot about criminal psychology, and I know how to handle situations like this. I can do it. Maybe Nick saw the seriousness and determination in my eyes. He went silent for a while before saying,
Fine, but you have to follow my instructions, and you must keep the secret from Lisa, or she'll be in danger.
I nodded enthusiastically. Then Nick came up with a plan. We would pretend to be dating so the mob would focus on me instead of Lisa. He's really smart, but this plan is My face turned red, but I felt a little excited and agreed, though I was nervous about where this was all going. To gather information, we started going on fake dates at a regular cafe. He was always so thoughtful, opening doors, pulling out chairs, and even handing me napkins whenever I accidentally spilled coffee on myself. And whenever he talked about the case and the complex details, his eyes would light up as he spoke passionately. I'd sit there listening, my heart racing faster than usual. He was so captivating.
Hey, focus, or you're getting fired right now.
Right, focus. I've got to impress Nick. So I stayed up several nights researching, putting together theories, and figuring things out. I even forgot to reply to Lisa's messages, which made her super mad. What are you doing ignoring me? You haven't been hanging out with me lately. Do you not care about me anymore? My boyfriend dumped me and now you're ditching me too, huh? So I had to call and comfort baby Lisa for an hour before she calmed down. She's such a baby. Finally, after a long day, I collapsed on my bed, only to get a message from Nick.
The info you sent is super helpful. You're awesome, girl. Keep it up.
I felt like I was floating on air. All my worries just disappeared. So Nick and I carried out the plan. And sure enough, after pretending to be Nick's girlfriend for a while, I started to notice that I was being followed. There were even a few nights when someone broke in and tried to attack me. But luckily, I know self-defense. So I took those small fries down in no time. Seeing this, Nick gave me the keys to one of his empty apartments and told me to stay there. One day, we switched our date spot to a park. The breeze was light, the leaves were gently falling, the autumn air was so soothing and romantic. Perfect for a stroll, right? But suddenly, I tripped on a rock and fell. Just in time, Nick caught me. But oh gosh, what do I see? Lisa was walking her dog and just stood there, wide-eyed, staring at us. Her dog started barking like crazy. Oh no, I totally forgot this park was near her grandma's house.
Lisa, hi.
He jerked in surprise, letting go of me, which made me fall right on my butt. But as I fell, I accidentally tugged on his shirt, pulling him down on top of me. Seeing this, Lisa lost it, stormed off, and stopped talking to me immediately after. I tried to explain that there was absolutely nothing going on between me and Nick, but come on, it looked really bad, and I couldn't exactly tell her the truth, so I had no choice but to let Lisa distance herself from me for a while, hoping she'd understand once everything was sorted out. But I also felt horrible for having feelings for Nick. No, I've got to get rid of these feelings. Nick and I kept going with the investigation, but I decided to keep some distance from him. Those gangsters were really slick, always changing locations, which is why we were here. An hour passed with nothing happening, and suddenly someone knocked on our car window.
What are you doing here? Cops, huh? Boys.
Nick suddenly slammed on the gas, speeding forward, but just as we got onto the main road, we were immediately blocked by a bunch of their cars. We're so dead. Then, out of nowhere, Nick slammed the car into reverse and started driving backward. Nick, are you nuts?
Zip it and trust me.
My heart was about to jump out of my chest as I watched the scenery rush past in reverse while those guys were chasing us like maniacs. Then, Nick made a sudden turn into a narrow alleyway, barely avoiding a collision with a truck. The car spun around and Nick started driving even faster. We drove for what felt like forever until we ended up in some remote countryside. But when I looked in the rearview mirror, those cars were still tailing us.
I'm sorry for dragging you into this mess. Trust me, Judy.
If today really is the last day of my life, I just wanted to tell you that I like... But before I could finish, I saw a river straight ahead. Oh no, don't tell me. The car door suddenly flew open and the car shot forward, soaring through the air before splashing into the water. Am I about to die? I haven't even seen season 5 of Stranger Things. I don't have a boyfriend. I haven't even paid back my parents yet. Just then, Nick swam over to me, grabbed my hand, then wrapped his arm around my waist and pulled me to shore. I couldn't help but throw my arms around him and sob uncontrollably. At that moment, Nick was like a hero rescuing me from death, and my heart started racing again. That night, I tossed and turned, wondering if I should confess my feelings. In the end, I decided to confess to ChatGPT first, just to be sure. But after I listed out all the signs, I was stunned by the response.
Are you sure you love him? Or is it just admiration?
Wait, what? I never even thought about that. What do you mean?
Sometimes we confuse love with admiration. Admiration is when you respect and look up to someone for what they do. But love is when you want to share your life and deepest emotions with them. Have you ever wanted to share your deepest secrets with them?
I paused to think. Actually, I never really thought about sharing too much with Nick, like everything, even the bad stuff, or even family matters. No, I just always wanted him to notice me, to acknowledge me, and I felt happy working on the mission with him. But no, what do machines know? I know my own feelings. Suddenly, my eyes landed on a photo of Lisa and me on my nightstand. Lately, she's been posting a lot of emotional stories, which had me really worried. I kept texting Lisa after being ignored 1,000 times, but the result was the same. Today, my school is hosting a party for the students. The moment I walked in, I spotted Lisa, and our eyes met. I was about to walk over to her when Nick suddenly appeared out of nowhere and pulled me aside, making Lisa even more furious. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Lisa saw us and
It's bad, Judy. Yesterday, Lisa came to my house, brought me cake, and then started crying like crazy. I had to pretend to kick her out, but I think those guys are onto something. They're here.
We went outside and immediately spotted the gangsters looking around frantically. All right, come at me, punks. Judy's ready to take you on. But weirdly, they didn't come toward me. They were heading toward Lisa. I bolted toward Lisa, beating them to her, and dragged her away while Nick distracted them. What the heck are you doing? Let go! Shh, you're gonna thank me later. Thank you, my foot! Thank you for borrowing my boyfriend when I wasn't using him? I couldn't focus on what Lisa was saying. I was too panicked watching those guys catch Nick and take him away. Right after that, they started chasing me and Lisa. Who are those people? They're terrifying! We just kept running up the stairs and straight onto the rooftop. The shouts from those guys echoed right behind us. There's no other way. We've got to jump. Are you insane? I saved your life before just so you could waste it now? You can doubt me about anything, but you have to trust me this time. Take my hand. So we swung through the air, landing safely on the ground, much to Lisa's astonishment. We kept running through the alleys, but unexpectedly, we were cornered by the gang. Lisa clung tightly to my hand as they circled around us, closing in. My head felt like it was going to explode, and I unleashed every ounce of energy I had, fighting like a maniac, with Lisa's screams echoing in the background. By the time I calmed down, they were all laid out on the ground, and the sound of police sirens blared in the distance. I quickly looked around for Nick, and when I found him, he was running toward Lisa, pulling her into a tight embrace, tears streaming down his face. In that moment, I couldn't help but smile. I didn't feel jealous that my friend had regained her happiness. Turns out they were right. The feelings I had for Nick were just admiration, not love. Maybe the universe knew this too, which is why it kept stopping me from confessing to him. I turned to leave, feeling like a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Just then, Lisa called out to me. Wait, Judy? Nick told me everything. I'm sorry for misunderstanding you. No, I'm the one who should apologize for... Before I could finish, Lisa suddenly hugged me, and we both started crying our eyes out. Then Nick came over and patted me on the shoulder.
You did great, kid.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Thanks for this wild journey. Time passed, and today was the day we found out the results of the entrance exam for the Royal Police Academy. We all held our breath waiting. 3, 2, 1... Yeah! I passed! I burst into tears and hugged my 2 best friends tightly. I can't wait to start this new chapter, a journey that's going to be challenging, but also filled with so much promise.
In the waiting room, I gazed at myself in the mirror, wearing a gorgeous wedding dress. I bet my parents are watching over me from heaven right now. In just a few minutes, I, Estella, would become the wife of the richest man in town, as a way to pay off my family's huge debt. Suddenly, I heard a soft female voice from the room next door. Slow down! Someone might see us!
There's no one to worry about. Everyone's at the main event.
The familiar voice of the man made me shiver. I quietly stepped over and peeked through the slightly open storage room door. A disgusting sight met my eyes. My fiancé was passionately making out with a beautiful waitress in the dark. How could you? They didn't even panic when they saw me. Aaron smirked like it was the most normal thing in the world.
Don't overreact, Estella. You'll have to get used to this.
Disgusted, I ran away. What else could I do? I ran away from my own wedding.
Catch her!
Aaron's goons started shouting. I grabbed my $1 million wedding dress and ran straight for the main doors, knocking over the huge wedding cake and the banquet table in my haste. Hi, my name is Estella. Sorry for dragging you into this dark and dirty place with me, but I'm hiding from the people hunting me upstairs.
Find her, no matter what!
I only dared to peek through the sewer cover to see the ground above. People were rushing back and forth, and someone stopped right in front of me. I immediately covered my mouth, praying that they just stopped by chance. But the cover started to move slowly, and I saw his face. It wasn't Aaron or one of his goons. He was a wedding planner. I knew from the pin on his chest. Please, don't tell anyone I'm here. I'm begging you. He looked at me, frowning with hesitation. A voice rang out from a distance, making me shrink back.
Is she there?
Just when I thought I was about to be caught, tears were about to fall, but he shook his head.
She's not a rat. This place stinks. I'm about to puke.
When the goon turned and walked away, I finally dared to breathe. The guy then extended his hand towards me coolly.
I'm Dexter. Let me help you up.
I hesitated for a few seconds before taking his hand. When our hands touched, a breeze blew by, making the moment surprisingly romantic. He held my hand and ran across the road. People gasped as they saw a bride running outside in such a mess, which made us laugh. Then he suddenly pushed me into a corner. What are you doing?
Shh, be quiet.
A group of Aaron's goons were standing there. Dexter stood so close that our lips almost touched. My face got so hot, it could have cooked a steak. He only let go when they left.
I'll take you to my place for one night.
I thanked him and followed Dexter back to his home. After all, I had nowhere else to go. It was a small house at the end of the street, but cozy. I realized Dexter lived with his grandma. When she saw me, she was a bit surprised, but quickly took my hand warmly. Dexter's girlfriend?
I'm just giving her a place to stay for the night, Grandma. Go ahead and wear my clothes. We need to talk.
We sat across from each other at the dining table. I took a deep breath and started telling Dexter about my terrible fiancé. Dexter frowned occasionally when I talked, but after I finished, he nodded gently, showing he understood.
He often treats the wedding staff poorly. I didn't expect him to be that awful to his fiancée too. I'm sorry to hear what happened to you.
I always wanted to get out of all of this. Thanks for letting me stay. I'll go back home tomorrow.
Home?
I froze, remembering that Aaron had taken our house too. The anger inside of me burned fiercely. One day, I'd crush him.
Stay. If you go back, they'll catch you. Besides, my grandma, she seems to like you.
I saw the kind woman peeking from the doorway. She gave me a warm feeling, like family. Living with Dexter, I tried to repay his kindness by helping around the house. While he was at work, I cooked, cleaned, and took care of his grandma, who always smiled warmly whenever she saw me. One afternoon, while preparing dinner, Dexter's grandma shared some stories about him. Dexter only seems cold on the outside. Ever since his parents passed away, he's been more reserved. You're the first girl he ever brought home. Really? He seems very kind, I said as I quickly stirred the soup on the stove. Yes, he's been working hard to buy medicine for this old lady. He's never complained once. Our conversation was interrupted when Dexter returned home. I had just finished preparing dinner. The three of us sat down to eat, and they were eager to taste my cooking. So, how is it? It's a secret recipe my mom taught me.
I've never had such delicious soup before.
It would be wonderful if Estella became my granddaughter-in-law. Her words made both of us blush, but in that moment, I felt the warmth of family again. I made an excuse to leave to hide my red face and suddenly noticed a strange flyer under the door. I picked it up and froze when I read it. Aaron had put a $500,000 bounty to find me. How despicable! Treating me like a piece of property to be bought. I crumpled the paper in anger.
What's wrong, Estella? We haven't finished dinner yet.
I quickly hid the crumpled paper when I saw Dexter, a wave of fear rising inside me. That night, Dexter insisted on giving me his bed while he slept on the floor. I felt a strange mix of comfort and awkwardness in the small room. When everything was silent, the door suddenly burst open under Aaron's kick.
Estella! How dare you run away!
I looked at Dexter in horror, and he just silently moved behind Aaron. He had betrayed me! Aaron lunged at me, grabbing my arm and dragging me away. No, please! I'll work my whole life to pay off the debt! Please let me go! Despite my pleas, he just laughed manically. A thunderclap snapped me out of the nightmare.
What's wrong?
Unable to answer, I was panting in fear. Dexter immediately got up, climbed onto the bed, and hugged me.
I'm here, Estella. You're safe now.
Thank goodness it was just a dream. I clung tightly to his arm and nestled against his strong chest. His warmth gradually calmed me down. I don't remember how I fell back to sleep. The next morning, I woke up to a strange noise. That guy was lying right next to me, face to face. I instinctively placed my hand on his cheek, gently caressing his handsome face. But then I snapped back to reality. It was Dexter. We were holding each other tightly. I jumped up, accidentally kicking him off the bed. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb your sleep. I was trying to go out, but got bumped into the dresser. I got out of bed and helped her pick up the decorations. Glancing at Dexter, he was groggily trying to understand why he was kicked. So we had slept hugging each other all night. Seeing her mischievous smile, I knew she had witnessed the embarrassing moment. After cleaning up the house, I made sure no one was around before running out to throw the trash. Not even a minute passed before Aaron's goons drove by. I barely managed to avoid their sharp eyes. What worried me the most was Aaron's bounty on my head. That day, Dexter's grandma's illness worsened, and she couldn't walk like usual. I helped Dexter by staying by her bedside all the time. He didn't have enough money to take her to the hospital. You don't have to worry about this old lady. Save the money for something important.
Your health is the most important. There will be a way.
From that moment, Dexter's attitude changed. He became more silent, often looking at me without saying anything. Had he learned about the bounty and intended to turn me in? I spent that night tossing and turning, thinking. I felt like a burden to Dexter, and more importantly, I had developed feelings for him. I also loved his grandma, and I wanted to do something meaningful for them. Though I didn't want to, I made a decision. It might be what was troubling Dexter too. Waiting until Dexter left the house, I used his phone to text Aaron, pretending to turn myself in so Dexter could get the money to treat his grandma. I went back to the room, wanting to say goodbye but refrained. I would disappear like a wisp of smoke from their lives. When the money was transferred, it was time for me to leave. Aaron grinned smugly when he saw me in his mansion, grabbing my throat tightly.
I spent $500,000 to get you. Do you think you're worth it?
I angrily swatted Aaron's hand away, not wanting to engage with him anymore.
Don't give me that look. If you weren't so pretty, do you think I'd even bother with you? Ha! All right, future wife. I'll forgive what happened before. The wedding will be rescheduled for tomorrow.
I clenched my fists to keep from punching him in my rage. He was nothing but a despicable jerk. On the wedding day at a grand church, I walked the aisle alone, feeling heavy-hearted. The place was packed with wealthy guests. People chatted with whispers about the beautiful bride, but there were also some disdainful looks from some snobby girls. I didn't care. I stood at the altar facing my loathsome fiancé.
For better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health.
I do. Those were the words Aaron expected to hear. But before I could say I do, the church doors burst open and Dexter walked in, holding the bag of money I left him. The guests started to whisper again.
Who is that?
Who does he think he is?
I'm here to stop this wedding.
Aaron's goons rushed to block Dexter, but he threw the bag of money at them, causing bills to scatter all over the floor. In a flash, he ran to me, grabbing my hand, intending for us to escape. Aaron grabbed my other hand, and the scene looked like something out of a K-drama. They fought over me, but I knew who to choose. I bit down hard on Aaron's hand, making him let go with a yelp. Once again, I grabbed my dress and ran away from my own wedding. Just before we could escape, the church door slammed shut in front of us. Why? The snobby girls looked extremely annoyed. Nice show, but bride snapping is illegal.
Who here is the real criminal?
Dexter looked at Aaron, who now appeared flustered.
You tricked Estella's parents, forcing them to borrow money from you to keep their house. You charged outrageous interest, and then forced Estella to marry you to settle the debt.
He flirted with other girls right in front of me. He disrespected me and treated me like a puppet. I bravely exposed my deceitful fiancé. Everyone turned to look at Aaron with judgment and contempt.
Misunderstanding. I can explain.
The sound of police sirens blared outside. The girls opened the doors and urged us to leave. Hurry up. You deserve a better life. We'll handle this creep. As they prepared to pounce on Aaron, he panicked and tried to flee. Dexter grabbed my hand and we ran outside. Only then did I notice he was also wearing a suit, looking just like a groom.
Estella, I can feel your feelings for me, and I feel the same. I was so frantic when you left. I can make money, but I can't lose you. Estella, will you be my wife?
Seeing the man kneel before me, I couldn't hold back my emotions. He loved everything about me, even when I had nothing. I do! In front of all the police, we hugged each other joyfully. That's my grandson! She pushed through the crowds and jumped in front of us, did a happy dance as if she'd never been bedridden. Dexter pulled me close and gave me a passionate kiss.
I love you, Estella.
Mom, Dad, I'm home. Oh, my dear daughter, look at how beautiful you are.
For the first time in my life, I feel proud of you.
Hand it all over. Oh, look at all these brand names. We could make a fortune selling these. Mom, can't you see how dirty this is? Shh, you've been living here rent-free your whole life, and now it's time for you to pay us back. Okay, that might sound a bit harsh, but hey, I'm used to it by now. It doesn't even hurt my feelings anymore. Hi, I'm Luna from Mexico. I'm about to tell you all why my parents freaked out over the designer stuff I brought home and how they completely wrecked my life. It's quite a story. I knew I was different from other kids early on. By 5, I could beat a high schooler at Rubik's Cube. At 10, I was solving logic puzzles. And now I can do complex math in my head super fast and accurately. But my parents, they weren't fans. Go out and make some money. Studying is just a waste of time. Honestly, my parents are a total mess. My dad was an IT engineer, but he got fired 6 months ago because of layoffs. He's been spiraling ever since, then started drinking. Because he can no longer afford for my mom. She's a beauty, but obsessed with it. Her talent is blowing thousands of bucks on makeup and clothes in 5 seconds. And so, my parents never stopped fighting over money. One day, Dad came home to find his beloved computer setup replaced by foundation, blush, and glitter from high-end brands.
You know that was important to me.
Are you calling me dumb? You promised me everything when you proposed. If you were as rich as the Gomez billionaires, things would be different. Can you both stop nagging? The Gomez's may be rich, but they don't have what you have. You have me. Kids are the most valuable asset. They suddenly went silent and stared at me. In that second, I knew what they wanted from me. Then came the days of my mom begging me to play along in their adopted by billionaires scheme. Of course, my parents would benefit from it. Mom's nagging drove me nuts. How can you even think of doing this? It's fraud! They're loaded. They give to charity every weekend. Who's poor? We are! Please, Luna! All right, I'll do it. Only because I love you guys. Got it? That day, I stood outside the Gomez's company building trying to catch their attention. Fall in front of him, then show off how cute and smart you are. Got it? My mom sure had schemes. Why couldn't she use that brain for something legit? As planned, I approached as they walked out. Ouch! Oh dear, are you alright? That's when I saw the Gomez's up close for the first time. They had kind faces, and Miss Gomez's voice was so gentle.
Sweetie, did you hurt yourself anywhere?
I was speechless. Guilt washed over me. Would I be a bad person for deceiving them? Before I could react, they quickly got into their car, leaving a bodyguard by my side.
Do you need to be taken to the hospital, miss?
Right then, a van came barreling down the street out of control.
Move! The brakes have failed! Move!
The van was heading straight for the Gomez's, who were frozen in shock. Without thinking, I rushed to push them out of the way, and we all fell to the ground. I woke up aching all over. I was in a hospital. Mom, Dad? We're here. We're right here. I looked around and didn't see a trace of my parents. Just Mr. and Miss Gomez and a bodyguard standing outside the door. Thank goodness you're okay. Thank you so much for saving us. Otherwise...
What can we do to repay you?
Once again, I was at a loss for words. We don't have any children. If you want, become our adopted daughter and come live with us. And just like that, I entered the billionaire's family, and my life completely changed from that point. I lived in a vast mansion by the sea and led a life anyone would envy. Miss, it's time to wake up. Be careful not to catch a cold. I felt like a princess in a palace. Mr. and Miss Gomez showered me with love and care. We want to give you the very best. Clothes, shoes, jewelry, and designer bags became more abundant by the day. A week later, while chilling and watching MDA, I got a call from my mom. Plan worked out perfectly, didn't it, sweetie? Who's this? Don't joke. Just stepped into luxury and already forgot your poor parents. Not joking. You guys didn't even care about me. I almost got hit by a car. I saw you were fine. What luck, huh? Come home tomorrow. Miss you a lot. She hung up before I could finish responding. She misses me. Really? The next day as I walked in, Mom rushed over. Oh, my beautiful girl, you look stunning.
For the first time in my life, I feel proud of you.
Give it all to me. Oh, all these brands. We'll make a fortune selling this. She snatched everything valuable from me. From clothes and bags to even my shoes. It's really cold outside, Mom, but she didn't care. I walked back to the Gomez's mansion, sneezing non-stop. Achoo! Miss Gomez was concerned and asked if I needed a chauffeur. Were you robbed? Did they hurt you? Her question left me stunned. My parents were no different from thieves. That night, I got a message from my mom. She was demanding I steal money from the Gomez's safe and bring it to them. I would never do something so filthy. But they surely wouldn't let it go if I didn't bring home the money. Finally, I decided to get a job and earn money to give them. Delivering pizza was a decent gig. I could get extra tips from friendly customers. Like this one time, I delivered to an old lady whose cat had run away, so I helped her find it. When I did, she tipped me $1,000. It was awesome. But the job came with its challenges. A few times, I bumped into the Gomez's or their bodyguard on the street. Obviously, I couldn't let them know I was doing this to earn money. I handed over all the money I made to my parents, but it was never enough for them. This isn't even enough for the bracelet I want. Are the Gomez's being stingy with you?
I want a new computer set up. Your mom sold my old one. Help me out, will you, sweetie?
Their endless greed makes me sick. But I was out of ideas on how to improve the situation. I stopped answering their calls for a few days. When I didn't pick up, they started texting. First, it was, Mom needs those designer items to sell for money. And, you're heartless if you ignore your poor parents. When I still didn't reply, she became furious and started cursing. Bring the money home or I'll expose the truth that you planned all this. Hours later, she texted again. My dear daughter, Mom's sorry for scolding you. I just need you. Please send the money. As if I'd believe that anymore. 3 days later, as I was waking up, the butler came and said someone wanted to see me. As expected, it was my dad, but he wore a gloomy face. As soon as he saw me, my dad burst into a dramatic sob.
She's sick, all because she missed you too much.
Half believing, half doubting, I told him to calm down and spill the beans.
She's in the hospital, but since we're broke, it's a hospital far from here.
So you guys need money, right?
No, I mean, she just needs you to take care of her.
Suddenly, I felt a pang of sympathy. Maybe now she finally appreciates family. Money isn't everything after all. I'll come with you, but I need to tell them first.
No need. We have to go now.
After a long drive, we arrived at the hospital where my mom was staying. Dad left right then, saying he had business in the city. It was more of a clinic, small and under-equipped. I found my mom in a small room and approached quietly, trying not to wake her. Oh, my daughter's here. Dad said you were sick! Well, yeah, sick as in broke sick. God, what were they up to this time? You just need to stay here for a bit while your dad deals with those billionaires. Once he brings the money here, you can go back. What the heck? They're staging a ransom kidnapping? With their own daughter? Unbelievable. There's no way I was letting them pull this off. I stormed towards the door, grabbed my phone, ready to call Mr. Gomez before the Century scam unfolded. But wait, where was it? Jesus! Dad must have taken off with it. It's a long way. You can't walk back. But I ignored the words of the greedy woman I once called Mom. I ran until I was out of breath. Suddenly, I heard the sound of an engine in the distance and decided to hitch a ride with them. Oh, the pizza girl! Luckily, it was the old lady whose cat I had helped find. When she heard I needed to chase down a car, her face lit up. Well, tighten your seatbelts. There's a vomit bag in the glove compartment. Before I could digest her words, the car zoomed off. Yahoo! It's been a while since I had such an adventure! What the? The old lady was driving like she's in a Formula 1 race. We sped past a deserted park when I spotted my dad's car near a bush. That's it! That's the one! Drop me off here! I approached and saw my dad standing there. Mr. Gomez was holding a large suitcase and his wife was crying. Please, don't hurt the girl. I beg you. With anger boiling over, I burst out. There was no turning back, so I spilled the beans. But saving you from the brakeless car was real.
Coincidences like that? It was all planned.
What? That was really dangerous, even for me. Dad? Dad ignored me while Mr. Gomez, furious, helped Miss Gomez into the car. With a wave of his hand, police swarmed from all sides, ending the scheme. I was released soon after, while my parents had to do community service for months. Hopefully they'd learn their lesson. I went back to delivering pizza, too ashamed to face the Gomezes again. One day, I delivered a pizza to a man and he tipped me a huge amount. I refused and insisted on giving it back. But then the car window rolled down and I saw familiar faces. We always knew you were a kind-hearted girl.